In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I did to scale multiple businesses to 6 figures in revenue before I ever had a single testimonial. These are the 3 specific strategies that I used, and of course I'm going to save the most powerful one for last. Before I go into the strategies, I want to tell you why you might be overestimating the importance of client testimonials. They're probably less important than you think they are. In fact, testimonials oftentimes can hurt you more than they help you. Why is that? Well, the reason for that is that most people are very nervous. They're scared of the big bad marketer, and they're scared they can't control themselves, and they're just going to go and buy something that they don't want, and then they're going to follow the system and it's not going to work. And then all of their family and friends are going to laugh at them and say, ha, 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 what an idiot, you fell for that scam. That's what people are deathly afraid of. And so they have a very hard time taking action, and they are looking for any tiny little excuse to not take action. So you've gotten them through your sales process and they're super interested and they want to book a call with you. You got them all excited. They think this just might work. And maybe they want to book a call with you, or maybe they want to actually pull the trigger and buy the product. Well, what happens is, if you have a bunch of testimonials at that point, is that they'll start looking at the testimonials instead of actually doing the action. Now they'll go and look at the testimonials instead, and the testimonials will start prodding excuses to come up in their heads. So they'll say, oh, all those people in the testimonials, they're all young, but I'm old, so maybe it's not going to work for me. Or all those people in the testimonials are in the US, but I'm in the UK, so it's not going to work for me. Or all those people in the testimonials are, their business is this type and my business is this type, so it's not going to work for me. So what ends up happening is that a lot of times you are actually creating excuses in your prospect's mind that were not there before. So your testimonials may actually hurt you more than they help you. That said, there is an obvious benefit to having testimonials, and that benefit it's really 2 benefits. The number 1 is proof. The reason that you have testimonials is that you want to prove to the person that this thing actually works. You want them to see all these other people that have success with this method or this product or whatever, and say, okay, well, it's worked for all those other people, then probably it's going to work for me too. Now, the reason that they want proof is because they want to reduce risk. They want to be assured that it is going to work and that it's not going to blow up in their face, and they're not going to get made fun of by their friends and family because they fell for a scam, or that they tried something really hard and it didn't work. Like, that's what people are super afraid of. So you want to reduce the amount of risk that the person perceives about your product. So you want to prove it and you want to reduce risk. I'm going to show you how to do both of those things without testimonials, how to prove that your thing works, and how to reverse the risk without relying on testimonials. So number 1 is the proof. This is really important, and a lot of people miss this because you don't recognize that nobody believes you. You're selling stuff on the internet, you're making claims on the internet, and literally nobody believes you. Everybody's super skeptical, which probably for good reason, because there's shysters out there that are lying and that are making false claims and false promises. And so if you say, hey, I'm going to help you lose 50 pounds, or I'm going to help you make all this money, or I'm going to help you get dates, or I'm going to help you learn to play the guitar, or whatever it is, nobody believes you just because you say it. You have to prove that the thing you're saying is actually true, or at least actually feasible. Now, one way to prove that your thing works, obviously, is client testimonials, which is actually not even the strongest form of proof because they can be easily faked, right? You could just hire an actor to do a testimonial for you. You can just create a screenshot that is like altered to look like it's a testimonial for you, but actually you stole it from your competitor, right? There's all these ways to fake testimonials, so it's not really that strong a proof. But the proof is important, and I'm going to show you some actually much stronger ways to prove your claims than testimonials. So the first way, and perhaps the the most powerful one to prove your method or your concept is just to explain it in a way that makes logical sense, that the person is nodding along, they're hearing your explanation, they're saying, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, sure, I could see that working. Note, by the way, that is what I am doing right here, right now. So I told you, I made a claim. I told you that you could sell high ticket coaching, consulting, agency services, etc., without any testimonials. I do not expect you to believe me just because I say that. So I'm explaining how. I'm explaining how in a way that logically makes sense so that you're nodding along thinking, yeah, that makes sense. I could see that. I could see how that could be true. That is a much, much stronger form of proof because there's no arguing with it. If it is logically true, if it makes sense, then you don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe anyone else. You don't have to believe that the testimonials are real and they're not faked and they're not photoshopped, right? It's your own mind is telling you, yeah, this makes sense. You're verifying it for yourself. So it's like it's much easier. This is a much stronger form of proof than just about anything else. Okay, so that's the first thing, is to explain your method. That's like that beats out everything else. The method of why your promise is true. Explain the reasoning behind it. Another thing you can do is to tell your story. You can talk about how you achieved this result for yourself or how you achieved this result for somebody else. Notice that I started out this video talking about how I have used these strategies to scale multiple businesses beyond 6 figures before getting a single testimonial. Now, that's a very condensed version of the story. If I wanted to make it more believable, then I would go through it in detail and I'd tell you all the details. But I don't want this video to be super long, so I'm not going to do that here. But you get the idea. It's like if you tell the story about how you've done this and about how you've gotten the result, then that's very compelling. People naturally like to listen to stories, so that works really, really well. And I should add a caveat here that you should have a story. Like if you're trying to sell how to do something, if you're trying to sell some sort of result and you have literally never gotten that result for yourself or anybody else ever, then you should not be selling it. I mean, this should go out without saying, but I see this all the time that people, like I saw once on a forum somewhere, a lady was saying, well, I'm teaching this system, or like I'm selling this coaching for how to make money online, but I've never made any money online. And I kind of feel this imposter syndrome. And my response, I didn't say this, but my thought was, that's not imposter syndrome. That is you actually being an imposter. If you've never gotten any result for anybody, including yourself, you probably shouldn't be charging people to teach it. If that's the case, that's okay. I mean, you can, like, everybody has to start somewhere, but like, stop trying to sell the thing and go and actually make it work for yourself, or make it work for a friend or a family member or the business that you work for or whatever. Like get one result, get it to work one time, and then you can go and sell it, right? Because then you'll have the story, and then you'll actually have some credibility and some confidence in yourself that you can actually do it. Because if you're trying to say, hey, I can teach you how to lose 50 pounds when you've never lost 50 pounds, why would anybody believe you? Like, it just doesn't make sense. So if you have a story, then your story is a really, really good way to prove your result in the person's mind, or prove your claim in the person's mind. Now, I could go deep into proof. Like, there's a whole bunch of other ways to prove it. Like, you could use statistics, you could use scientific studies, you could quote other people that are considered an authority by your particular audience. I'm not going to get into that because I just gave you like the 2 most powerful ways are to talk about your method in a way that logically makes sense and to tell your story. So that's proof. Now let's talk about risk reduction. People are worried that if they hire you, if they pay you the money, then they're not going to get a result, and then they will have lost their money, and then they're going to feel like a fool and they're going to be embarrassed. That's what people are worried about. And so your job is to make them less worried. So the proof does that by itself. Like the more proof you have, the more they believe it will work, the less worried they are. However, you can do risk reduction, as in, here's what happens if it doesn't work. And there's two primary ways to do this. Number one, and probably the most obvious, is to offer a guarantee. So you do this thing, and if it doesn't work, then I'll refund you in full. That helps somewhat. Now, this isn't perfect, because if they go and they do the thing, well, now they've spent some time and they've invested some effort in this thing and it doesn't work and they get their money back. Okay, they're net zero on the money, but unless there are other expenses involved, then maybe they're negative on the money. But the problem is that they've still spent time and energy on this, right? So it's not a pure risk reduction and it's not perfect. Sometimes, though, it's the best you can do. A better risk reduction, where applicable, is pay on results. So instead of making the person pay up front, you have them pay after they have already gotten the result. Now, let me give you a huge disclaimer with this thing, because people in general, like the average person in the world, is absolutely useless in terms of follow through. So they sign up for your thing and they say, yeah, I'm going to follow this process. I'm going to follow this diet and this exercise plan. I'm going to lose all this weight, or I'm going to build this business and this social media stuff, and I'm going to get all this money. Well, 2 weeks later, if you do this for free up front, you don't charge them anything up front, and you say, okay, here's the method. I'm going to coach you for free. And then when you get the result, then you can pay me. What you'll find is that like 90% of people will not follow through at all. 2 weeks later, they've forgotten about it, and you've just wasted your investment in this person, and they're never going to get the result because they don't do the work. So you really, really don't want to put your trust in normal average people. The one, like, pay on results, you only want to do if you have a good reason to be very sure that the person is going to get the result. That could be because it's an extraordinary person. Like, this is a very successful person who has shown that he has the work ethic and he has the integrity to actually follow through with things until the job is done. If this is some stranger from the internet that you don't know from Adam, chances are very good that he is not that person and is just going to give up like the first time any little difficulty occurs, because that's how most people are, unfortunately. So the one exception is if it's a very successful person, or if it's a person that you have a very high level of trust in. The second exception is if that person is you. So this is specifically if you are doing a done for you service. If you are doing everything so that you get the result for the person and there's no way that they could screw it up, you're putting into the whole responsibility of the result is on you, and there's no possible way that they could screw it up, then you can offer pay on results. Or if it's very unlikely that they could screw it up, then you can offer pay on results, because you have, I hope, if you're listening to this, you have faith that you yourself will actually follow through. And hopefully you are the sort of person that actually follows through on the things that you say that you're going to do, because you'll find out that life is just so much better and so much easier if you make yourself into the type of person that follows through on the things that you're going to do. Being a flaky person sucks. Your life is going to suck if you're a flake. Most people's lives suck because most people are flakes and they do not follow through. They do not have integrity. So don't be that person yourself. If you can trust yourself, if you do have integrity, then you can offer pay on results, because you can say, I'm going to follow through. I know I'm going to follow through because I said I'm going to follow through. And as a result, I'm going to reap the rewards. And by the way, if you don't know what I mean when I say pay on results, I mean, like, if you're a marketing agency, for example, and you're going to get this person, you're going to run ads for this person and get them all these sales, well, you can charge a percentage of the sales that you get them. Now, another caveat here, though, is that you probably want to charge them something. You don't, if you're doing this, you don't want to charge them absolutely nothing if you require anything from them, because what happens is if people don't pay anything up front, then they just don't value the thing at all. And so they'll ghost you. I've had this happen before where I said, look, I'm going to do everything for you. And so I like for advertising, for example. And so like I'll write up some ad scripts and send it to the person. And then the person just disappears and I never hear from them again. And I try to talk to them and they just don't talk to me. So to avoid that, you want to, even if it's just like a nominal fee, like it's just like a $300 tech fee or something that you charge up front, it's like next to nothing, then that will help that they are at least a little bit invested in you. And if they're not willing to pay even some tiny little fee up front, then probably you might want to avoid that person. So those are the two ways to do a risk reduction. And by the way, if you do any kind of coaching or consulting where you're teaching the other person and they have to implement the thing themselves, do not do the pay on results, like ever. It just doesn't work because most people are just dead lazy and they do not follow through. And especially if they're not paying up front, they don't have any value. They don't have any skin in the game. And they're just like 99% of the time, they're not going to follow through. So the guarantee is much better. You can say, look, you follow the process. If it doesn't work, I'm going to give you your money back. So you're not like taking the risk that this person is just useless and doesn't do anything. Okay, now here is my most ninja tip. And I almost like second guessing myself that I'm giving away this for free, but I already said that I'm going to, so here it goes. This is the thing that made it for me. A good marketer can take almost anything and frame it as though it's a benefit. Any drawback, any lacking thing that you have, if you're smart, you can actually turn it around and describe it in a way that you're framing it as a benefit. Having no testimonials is one of the things that you can frame as a benefit. Here's how it works. Instead of saying, or just not saying anything, or instead of saying, oh, I have no testimonials, you say, this is a brand new offer. And because it's a brand new offer, you are the luckiest person in the world because you happen to have found this when it was brand new. And because you found it when it was brand new, you not only are you going to get the highest level of service and personal support from me because you were the first cohort of people who is accepting this offer, but also because I really want to get some high quality success stories and I want to get a bunch of them and I want to get them fast. I'm going to sell this product to you for only whatever, like half of the price that I normally would. So instead of you having to pay $10,000 for this, I'm only going to charge $5,000 because in return, and this is key, but if I'm willing to do that for you, if I'm willing to cut the price in half and sell this to you for only $5,000, what I want from you in return is that when you make your first $50,000 from this product, I want you to make me a short 30-second video or send me an email or write a post in the Facebook group telling me all about how you got this amazing result. If you will agree to that, then I will cut the price in half and I will let you have this for just $5,000. So you see what I did there? Like, how much better does that sound as compared to, well, I'm kind of new and I don't have any client case studies yet? Which one do you think is more compelling to you? Like, I have used that with a bunch of different businesses and it just works so well. Now, this so far I've just talked about messaging. Like, how do you message? How do you use your messaging to overcome your lack of testimonials? Now let me tell you how to actually put it into practice. You can use this messaging anywhere in your marketing, right? You can use it in your ads, you can use it in your funnel, you can use it in a VSL and follow-up emails, on your sales calls, in a webinar. Like, you can put this anywhere. The best way to implement this, that you'll get the fastest results, is to run YouTube ads to a VSL call funnel. Let me explain what I mean. When I say a VSL call funnel, VSL means video sales letter. So what it is you have a YouTube ad that is running to an opt-in page where the person gives you their information. And then on the next page is a VSL, a video sales letter. This is a video that is describing to them what your method is, how you can help them, and it's inviting them to book a call with you. Then they click and they book a call with you. That's a VSL call funnel. So let me tell you why this is the system that I recommend. First of all, let me start with the YouTube ads. YouTube ads are the single best thing going right now in terms of getting you traffic, because for one thing, YouTube is owned by Google. And there are a lot of reasons, actually, and I'm not going to go over all of them, but some of the biggest reasons: YouTube is owned by Google, and Google knows what people are looking for, right? Google knows when somebody's trying to lose weight, when they're trying to find marketing services, when they're trying to find email services, SEO services, when they know they're trying to find an HR consultant. Google knows because they're typing that into Google. Plus, they're watching videos about it on YouTube, which Google owns, and they're reading emails about it in Gmail, which Google owns, and et cetera, et cetera. So you have intent-based targeting. You can target people based on what people are looking for in the moment, which no other ad platform can do. Plus, you have the advantage of a YouTube audience. You have the highest quality possible audience, especially for a VSL funnel, because you are targeting people who are on YouTube. Just the fact that they are on YouTube and seeing your ad means that they are already watching videos. They already have an attention span, for one thing. So if they're on like TikTok or Facebook, they're just scrolling every 2 seconds. They have zero attention span. They may not even be in a situation where they can do anything. Like, a lot of people will take out Facebook or Instagram when they're standing in line at the grocery store. They don't have time to do anything. If somebody's watching long form videos on YouTube, it means that they have an attention span. It means they like watching videos, and it means that they have time on their hands. So if they click on your ad and they opt in to and watch they see your VSL come up, your video sales letter, the chances that they're going to actually click on the VSL and watch the VSL right then and there are astronomically higher than they would be on a platform like Facebook or Instagram, right? So you get higher quality people, you get people, higher intent people that are actually looking for what you have to offer, and they're much more likely to watch your video. So they watch your video, and then you have them book a call on your calendar. The nice thing about this is it's all automated. You just have the ad is running in the background. The funnel is running in the background. The VSL is running in the background. Everything's running in the background. Everything's on autopilot. And you just have people booking calls in your calendar, and it's just happening for you. Now, if you would like to have me build this all out for you, like literally build out the entire thing. So I'll write your ads. I will set up your ad campaigns. I will set up your entire funnel. I will write your VSL for you. I will set up all the automations for you. I'll set up all of the ad tracking for you. I'll even write all of the emails and set up the email sequences for you. Literally everything. I do the whole thing for you. And all you have to do is take the calls that appear on your calendar. That's it. If you would like me to build that out for you, then that's something that, as of recording this video, I am offering right now. You can click the link below to apply and book a call with me. Now, I should mention, is in case it's not obvious, this is not cheap. This is a high ticket offer. So I'm not going to give you the exact price right here, because I expect it's probably going to increase in the future, and I don't want to set a false expectation. So I'm not going to tell you the exact price, but suffice to say, it's multiple 4 figures. Thanks for watching. If you're interested in my offer, just click the link below and we'll talk soon.